Going to discuss the story Letter to God by G L Fuentes. So yesterday we had seen the overall glance of the story. How was Lancho feeling at the onset of the story? Very happy because his cornfield was all full of crop. He was expecting a very good crop, and he was thinking if there is a little bit of shower, then he can have better harvest this year. And indeed there was a little rain, but then that becomes a downpour, means that became heavy, and then there were hailstorms. And when there were hailstorms, now he was feeling very sad, very bad, because now his crop was destroyed. It was all white. Not a trace of the crop was left. And he was thinking, suppose if there could be another case of attack by locust. Locust, they are grasshopper like insects, they also attack the crop. There could be lesser damage. And this is your first question also. And the first aspect of character of Lancho. How was Lancho feeling? How did Lancho react to the rain? How did Lancho react to the hailstorms? So these are small questions you can have the onset. Then you have another question. How did children react? They felt very happy. Even when there were hailstorms, they did not realize that crop would be destroyed. They were playing with those small hailstorms. Earlier, Lancho was reacting to small drops and bigger drops as coins. Now these children, they were reacting to those small and big hailstorms as silver coins. And you come to know that whole crop was destroyed. So Lancho, who was living at the crest of the hill, at the high end of the hill, now he was feeling very low. And here comes your second question. Why did Lancho write a letter to God? And you can now say his crop was destroyed because of hailstones, and he had no help from anybody. He felt as if God was the only savior, and he thought it is better, rather than asking help from anybody, he could ask help from God, because he had great faith in God. So that could be your another set of question. Why did Lancho ask for help from God? Then you have another set of questions. How did postmaster and post officials, those who were working at the post office, they react to the letter. First, you can say they start joking. They felt as if Lencho was a police person because they were knowing there is no address on the post and this letter is not going anywhere. But at the same time, they also felt very serious and they decided to help Lencho and they could collect 70 pesos. And they sent 70 pesos to Lencho so that a person like Lencho who was having faith in God, his faith should not waver, his faith should not shake. Then another question comes, how did Lencho react after getting these 70 pesos? He was happy that help had come, but he was very angry with the post office officials because he was thinking these people might have taken out those 30 pesos. God has no problem in sending 100 pesos. Why God would send less money? So he was saying that there is a lot of corruption, people are very bad at the post office, and he decided to write another letter directly and he wrote very clearly that this time directly money should come to him. So here you find another question. Post office officials, they helped Lencho. Why did they get such kind of reaction? So you can write it is because of the impression of Lencho. He thought that the post office officials, they were corrupt. Generally most of the government servants, whether they are honest, upright, but there is a general impression that most of them, they are also not performing very well because they know nobody can throw them out of their jobs. So here you find this story and the character of Lencho. Lencho is the main character here. Side characters are these post officials. Then you can say the setting of the story, it is Latin American story. G L Fuentes, he is a Mexican writer, and you find this is not a story of Lencho only. Lencho is representative of all the poor people, all the poor farmers, those who are highly dependent on weather. They don't have any savings. They are helpless, they are hopeless, and there is only hope that they have, and that is from God. So you can say this is a typical story that is depicting the poverty of farmers, and it is just in contrast to the story we had seen by James Herriot, A Triumph of Surgery, where Mrs. Pumphrey was so rich that her dog Tricky was enjoying all sorts of things which even doctor felt he could not afford. So that is all for today. You write these questions, you must have written the summary, you must have written that synopsis, a brief account of the story. So you write that, after that you do these questions, then you will have some idea of this story and you can easily write higher order thinking skill questions because now you have some understanding of the story. That's all for today. Thank you. Have a nice day.